Hey, folks, welcome back to the Contrarians. This is another episode of our newest edition of the Contrarians called The Contrarians Presents. So, usually we debate one album from a band that one of us thinks is their best album, and the other one argues against it, why it's not. In this series, we've kind of opened the door a little bit to allow us to explore other things that maybe we're contrarian on, but not to be set in that mold of we're picking the one album and doing that one thing that we initially did. So today we have a really cool concept. So today's concept is single sleeves that we think are better than the album covers. So we've each gone through and picked 10 bands, 10 albums, and 10 singles where we thought the single sleeve looked better than the album artwork cover. So we're going to start off. Martin's got his pick, and then we're going to go back and forth. So why don't you take it away?
Yes, thanks, Marco. I kind of rose to the challenge of partially it's because I'm a little tech challenged and I didn't want to go find all these pictures and show them and flash them and stuff. But you are our tech guy and you've done a good job with figuring all this out. But that's a long way of saying that I went through my own collection to find these. So the idea was I found ones that I had in my own collection. So my first choice is Cheap Trick's "Don't Be Cruel." Terrible song and cover. Well, more or less terrible cover. I don't want to crap all over the song, but I'm not happy hearing Cheap Trick do a cover of "Don't Be Cruel." But anyways, "Don't Be Cruel" single, great band shot, all the guys in it. It's just a really cool, classy shot. I think it's a better picture than the cover of "Lap of Luxury," which you can actually see a little bit on the back as well there. But there you go. So yeah, "Don't Be Cruel," better front cover to the single than the 1988 album "Lap of Luxury." Over to you.
So there's the album cover, there's the single, and that's the two of them together.
Yeah.
So my first pick, anybody who watches the show knows that I'm a huge Kiss fan. So the Kiss record that I put on here is Animalized, which came out in 1984. So the single that I picked, and the reason why I picked this single, so this is the Heavens on Fire single. So as you'll notice right away that the logo, that's the German European logo. There is an American version with the American logo. The reason I used this image was just because this image was better than the other image, but it's the same sleeve. There's also a variant where it looks like there's like a comet going through space, and it's a Heavens on Fire single as well. The reason I like this one is because I kind of look at Animalized and Lick It Up as like sister albums. And I like this cover because it reminds me of the Lick It Up cover, but it's black and it kind of fits in my mind with the sister album thing. And the original album, like, it's okay, I guess, but I kind of like Kiss is such a visual band, even in the 80s, that I just kind of think that this single works better than what they used for Animalize.
Yeah, really cool idea. Yeah. So number one, I totally agree with you, but I love that idea that you brought up about this looking like the antithesis to the Lick It Up album cover. So that's kind of cool. Black background instead of white background. So, and yeah, it's a good band shot. So good choice. All right. My next choice is the Accept Midnight Mover single. I just think so. This is obviously a close-up of the Metal Heart that was sculptured for the Metal Heart album cover, but I just think this is much cooler, leaving it as an oblique version of it, where it looks like an even cooler machine than the full picture, and it doesn't have that light blue background. Everything's really themed with this black, silver, and gray look, and I think that makes an awesome album cover that is better than the original album cover, where it kind of looks like it's a little more of a tacky, kind of smaller machine. Yet when you show the detail of it, just the top like that, I think, all the angles and lines and colors and everything looks really cool. So there you go. Midnight Mover, Accept.
Yeah, and the single sleeve looks heavier too. It makes it look like it's a heavier record, overall. Yeah, very cool. I like that. Absolutely. So my next one, so Alice Cooper, Muscle of Love. So I understand that if you look up Alice Cooper, Muscle of Love, like the cover that you get is the one on the left with the cardboard cutout. That was kind of like a sleeve. And when you open it up, you see the sailors and stuff like this. So this is the cover. Like, yeah, it's okay. The one with the sailors is okay. The cardboard thing is kind of gimmicky. The single that I picked is this. So it's actually it looks like Alice Cooper looks like Popeye. It's kind of illustrated. And I kind of dig that better. It just kind of catches my eye. Maybe the pastel blue could have been a different color or something. But just overall, I kind of think that I liked it. It worked for me a little bit better than the original cover.
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. That's pretty neat. And it's got a really cool, early 70s vibe to it too, with those type styles and everything. Pretty cool. And
I'm a huge Popeye fan.
yeah, and and the original Muscle of Love caused a lot of problems because people thought that stain was a stain on their copy and they were returning it and thought it was damaged, or they wouldn't buy it because they thought it was damaged. And also the big cardboard thing filled up those record racks really, really fast because it was, it was sort of in and around maybe a little under half an inch thick. And it's you couldn't fit too many records in there. So the record rackers and the guys at the stores were kind of ticked off at that thing being that way. And it cost a lot of money for the label. So it was kind of a disaster all the way around.
So what do you consider the cover of Muscle of Love? Do you consider it the cardboard thing, or do you?
Oh, yeah, I think most people do. They consider it the cardboard thing. And every time it came out, it was like that. Even when it wasn't cardboard, it was that look. They just kind of produced that look. So yeah. All right. So my next choice is one of my favorite bands of all time from Australia, the Angels, otherwise known as Angel City up here, with the Night Attack single. Love this single. There's the Sydney Opera House there. Actually, you can see it, I think, on the front a little bit. Yeah. But I think that's a really cool, dramatic looking image, and it shows kind of Night Attack. There's a bunch of rubble in there, and the Night Attack album cover, of course. That's really cool. There's the Australian version, but in Canada and the States, they were called Angel City, and we got that white one with Doc Neeson, just spread eagled like that. Doesn't look particularly heavy or metal or whatever, but I don't think it's a great looking cover, with those kind of very bright, ghoulish kind of covers and the colors and the the rays coming out of his eyes. Night Attack on a white background. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I love this single. I think that would have made a better album cover.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. It's kind of cool, but the street cover that can work for a lot of different bands in a lot of different ways. And I think I probably agree with you.
Yeah.
The other one could be like a cool like insert sleeve or back cover or something.
Yeah.
So this is my next one, the Beatles, Please Please Me. So I'm going a little classic 60s rock and roll here. So this is a shot of the band. I actually don't mind this album cover, but for the single Love Me Do, they put this, and I kind of dig this a lot because I like anything that's like illustrated like this. I kind of dig a lot, and it just kind of it's very standoutish more than the album cover itself, and it's very sharp and like catches your eye very quickly, I find.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, illustration's awesome. And I keep thinking back to paintings like that. That would have been just, hey, here's a painting of the Beatles. But that's probably worth a lot of money now, right? Sure. I always wonder where those illustrations kind of end up. But yeah, good choice. All right, so my next choice is Bad Company with Rock and Roll Fantasy. Now, this isn't a huge improvement over the album cover. It's kind of a variant, a Hypnosis variant on the album cover, but I think it's a bit of an improvement because I think that image in the middle is kind of spookier, and I like the way that Bad Company is in red with black outline rather than just white with black outline. I was never a big white text guy, so yeah, I think this is an improvement over the Desolation Angels album. So, but it's neat that Hypnosis had these various images, and there's your back cover with the picture of the guys. So yeah, very cool. This reminds me of a little bit of what they did with Led Zeppelin Presence, right? But yeah, neat, slight improvement over the album cover. There you go.
Yeah, cool. I totally agree about the logo for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like it too. Just I agree. The telephone pole and the nighttime sky, like, just looks really cool.
Yeah, and centered text. So. Yep.
So again, going back to the classic rock kind of thing. So this is the Jailhouse Rock EP. So this wasn't a full album, but it was an EP. It had 5 songs on it. This is Elvis Presley, right? This is all about Jailhouse Rock. So here's the Jailhouse Rock single. Oh, so I kind of just like this a little bit better.
Yeah,
just because it just shows a little bit more personality. Like the one on the left, the EP, they both came out the same year. The EP is just a portrait of his face, which you see on every Elvis album that you've ever seen. And then the one on the right just shows a little bit more personality and shows it to be a little bit more rock and roll to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's making a jailbreak or something, right? Good colors too. You got the red text with the red sweater, the yellow background. The yellow is the same color as the guitar. It's just really kind of well put together, right? And you kind of wish, the old days they put way too much text on the cover. You kind of wish a bunch of that other stuff was removed, but that would have made an awesome album cover for sure.
Right.
Yeah, excellent, nice choice. Okay, so my next one is Deep Purple with the Call of the Wild single. I really like the colors of this. This is one of my favorite singles that I own, with the big owl eyes in the middle, and you've got the red and the black, and then the kind of muted purple, and the owl eyes sort of stand out. And then the House of Blue Light album cover, I always thought was kind of cheap looking. It just looks like a crappy prop put together with the blue smoke in the background. It doesn't look very. It literally doesn't look very historic. It looks kind of cheesy. So I think if they would have gone with that Call of the Wild look, it would have been even cooler. So there you go.
Yeah, this one kind of foreshadows another pick of mine, but I agree with you. Like the one on the right, just all the stuff going on, the different graphics and what it's more eye-catching. And I think that's what's happening with the single sleeves, is that the ones that I've seen so far that we've picked, is the one on the right seems to catch your eye a little bit more, and it's a little more interesting than just a door.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Nice.
So I'm going to the wall for an album that you had picked that we had done on our Contrarians. This, I think, was the first episode that we had ever done. And I think you had even said that you weren't very impressed with the album cover either. Right. So this was a single sleeve. So you'll notice right away that it's a Japanese single sleeve. There is an American version of this, but the color scheme is different. I actually like this color scheme because I like how it's, if you look at the bottom left, you'll see the rainbow logo, and then you see the way that they're designed is they're kind of designed like a rainbow. Each one's a different color. Yeah. And I kind of dig that a little bit better than just the earth and the logo, like the down to earth thing. Yeah. And I like that rainbow logo is on it, and it's again, to me, it just looks more like appropriate. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that a traditional, kind of religious writing rainbow logo, Gothic letters or whatever. There are ads that have the Down to Earth album cover with that above it, and that even is an improvement. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, it would have been kind of neat to even have that Japanese writing on the cover for the album cover. Yeah, and absolutely. They look kind of modern, like they're moving into the 80s kind of thing. It's a good picture of the band. So yeah, good choice. Excellent. Thank you. All right. My next choice is the Extreme More Than Words single. Pornography. Well, there's a little picture of it on the back, and Marco, you're gonna show the image as well. But it was kind of like a hodgepodge of computer graphics. I believe a good buddy of mine, Johannes, was involved in this album cover in some way. I'm not sure to what extent he worked on it, but it kind of betrays that early kind of computer graphics, oleo hodgepodge miscellany look. And, but this is a really cool looking picture of the band, a nice stage shot, really classy. I thought that would have been, kind of a much better album cover for Pornography, which, by the way, is a kick-ass album. What a great album. Probably is my favorite Extreme album, although Three Sides to Every Story is really good too. But yeah, that would have made a nice album cover. Real classy.
And I also bet, I know what bugs you a lot about the album too, is that it says Extreme 2 on it.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Very
That's
annoying.
Always something, you always pick out stuff like that, like Alice Cooper 80 and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow, I forgot
it's not
all
even
about
the name
that.
of the record. Yeah, it's not even the name of the record. It's like part of their band. So like
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So next one, again, I'm going to the wall with something that Martin picked for our episode. So this is when we did Saxon Power and the Glory. I don't hate the wizard at the bottom. Like, I don't hate that. Although Sabbath kind of did that with Live Evil, which I don't know if Live Evil came out before this, actually. Maybe Live Evil came out after
both
this.
The same year. Yeah.
The thing that bothers me the most
actually,
about
Live Evil's 83. Power and Glory 82. Okay. All right.
That might have been the UK version too. I'm not sure.
Okay.
The thing that bothers me the most about this is the logo. And when you look at the single sleeve, like the logo just looks so much better.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
And this is for Nightmare. And I also just kind of think that album cover in general kind of works with like Strong Arm of the Law and like Denim and Leather and Wheels of Steel kind of better. It fits that mold better with the bird logo and the fist and just the Saxon logo itself. Just to me, it's night and day to me. It even looks like a heavier record to me.
Yeah, it's true. No one really liked that Power and the Glory album cover. I mean, I love all that text at the top and how much work got put into it, how awesome and classy it looks. But then, it loses you at the bottom where you got the old Y&T robot, kind of thing at the bottom, right? And everybody kind of thought, well, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Rays coming from his finger and stuff. So yeah, really good bold colors on the Nightmare one. The one thing I don't like about the Nightmare one that kind of sticks out is how the Saxon logo doesn't really look like it's part of the glove. It's just kind of like floated on there.
Yeah, that's true.
But and the gloves kind of, the illustration's not great, but I mean, what great colors. I really like that look for the colors in the Saxon logo, so that's cool too. So yeah, all right, nice choice. My next one is Genesis, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. Really cool live shot of the band. This is from Invisible Touch, which is one of the all-time horrible album covers. I really don't like that album cover. They really got into this strange thing with their album covers later on that were not good. I mean, they were reflecting the simplicity of the music, I suppose. But no, I just thought, this great bold dramatic colors, a little bit of the seconds outlook and then there were three look to it, I believe, I would say. Good dramatic live shot, the yellow mixed in with the purple, just two colors, nice and simple. But I just thought, this is a little more, reflective of the drama of Genesis. And I just hate that Invisible Touch album cover anyways. So there you go.
And the Invisible Touch album cover looks exactly like the Bad Company one that you showed earlier.
Yeah.
Even the font is in the same spots.
Yeah. And Duke and Abacab and I think the next one, right? They're the same sort of like just washed out, boring colors kind of thing.
Yeah, and look at that band shot. Looks awesome. Look at all the lighting and fireworks, whatever's going on there. Like, it just looks really cool.
Yeah, right on.
So my next one, Frank Zappa, Chic Your Booty. So it's a hit. It's a space. It looks just like the Apostrophe album cover, except he's wearing a headdress. But you check out the single for Dancing Fool and him smoking a cigarette, just kind of. And I think actually there's some variants of the original album where this was the back cover of it. But there's also a lot of versions of Chic Your Booty that don't have that as a back cover. But anyways, it just looks cooler. Like, I know people say, oh, smoking cigarettes isn't supposed to make you look cooler, but it's just when you give them something to do and there's the smoke and it just looks a little bit more unique than Chic Your Booty.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's really cool. I forgot about that one. That's awesome. Very cool. Nice choice. Yeah, that is one of my favorite in terms of, pictures of Frank. So that's kind of cool. But I'd like to see all the variants of that. My buddy Monty Connor does these cool Facebook posts where he does variants of. I'm sure he could find this photo shoot and show us a bunch more pictures from it. So yeah, really cool. All right, my next choice, Sammy Hagar with "Never Give Up" from Three Lock Box. Definitely don't like the Three Lock Box album cover. I think it's kind of cheesy with Sammy in this, woman's mouth kind of thing. But this is kind of a neat collage. There's a lot going on it. It's a little festive. It's a little party. But it's kind of cool. I like all the different things going on. You could tell they put a bit of work into it. So yeah, I think it's an improvement over the Three Lock Box album cover. There you go, Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, no, I actually quite agree with this one, just because, I get the idea he's in the lips and stuff, but the one on the right looks so much more like a Sammy album cover.
Yeah.
Like him jumping out of it's just, it's cool. It's indicative more of like his album covers and what he's known for.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree. All right. So this is the only kind of obscure band that I have on my list. I did an episode on The Move. So this is Looking On. I kind of don't understand the album cover other than I guess you're looking onto people's heads. But I don't know. The album. It's funny because this is probably my favorite Move album, and it probably has the weakest album cover, I guess. Although it is kind of heavy looking. This is the single for the song that came off of Looking On, Turkish Tram Conductor Blues.
Yeah.
And it kind of has a Beatles-esque look to it. But this album, Looking On, they became a very they were more heavy, more progressive. And this, if you look at the band shots here, they look like a heavy progressive band here.
Yeah.
So I just dig the cover better than the original. It makes more sense to me.
Yeah, that's a badass looking band. And they also look like they're looking on, right? All four of them are like staring through you, right? So that would have been great. And I think the text is better. I don't like that text on the original album cover at all. I think anything would be an improvement, and this is an improvement. So yeah, really cool shots of the band. They look they definitely look really badass in that. Yeah,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Okay, so my next choice is XTC with No Thugs in Our House. Love this album. This is from English Settlement. XTC did a lot of really cool things with their singles, but this one has so it's die cut, and it's got this inside, and then it's got even a custom thing for the records. So all of these things show up in layers when you look at it. So yeah, I think that's a great looking single with a lot of work put into it. They had a lot of really good looking singles, and the English Settlement thing. Okay, so it's cool. That's that thing that's on the hillside in England. This historic sort of cat dog. What is it? Horse? I guess it's a horse. But not a great album cover. Just pretty simple. But yeah, if you look at a lot of XTC sleeve, man, we could almost do a whole episode of this just on the XTC 12 inches and 7 inches that those guys put out. A lot of cool graphics, but yeah, this one's a really cool one. As you can see, it says XTC Theater down at the bottom, and yeah, it's all die cut and stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, and the one on the left looks more like the single sleeve than the one on the right does.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they just had the title of the song there.
Yeah,
it's super bland. Even the colors kind of whatever, but the one on the right, absolutely agree.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so I put Kiss on the list twice.
Okay.
So this is like a classic, infamous cover. It's the door handle. It's kind of like the House of Blue Light that we had already looked at. This totally threw off all Kiss fans back then. From what I wasn't alive back then, but from what I understand, I think a lot of people just totally like the logo is so small. The band, which is very visually exciting, is not even on the cover anywhere to be found. And yeah, that's Paul's hand, whatever. So here's the single for I and the Oath. It's a nice band shot. It's got all four of them in it. The colors are kind of cool. Like yeah. I can just visualizing and looking at these two album covers. The one on the right definitely would have at least helped them sell a handful more copies, I think, back then. Because I think the one on the left just, I know they were doing the concept thing, but maybe they could have had that image on the inside or something. I don't know. I just prefer the one with the band on it.
Yeah, nice colors, really fiery colors, and a good band shot. Except notwithstanding Gene's hair, and Paul's hair, I suppose. Ace looks pretty cool, and Eric looks pretty cool, right? But yeah, and look at Ace's. That was a really cool uniform he had at that point with the big slash through it, the big lightning bolt.
Right.
So, yeah,
and why not have more chances to show it off?
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. The original really looks kind of old-fashioned-y, I suppose, and there's no real picture of an elder or anything. Yeah, good choice. All right, so my very last one is The Damned with Love Song. So this is the Rat Scabies one. So what happened was they actually put this out in 4 different versions with the 4 different guys on the front of the sleeve like this, and the Rat one is my favorite. I mean, it's just a cool shot of Rat Scabies. And Love Song is from Machine Gun Etiquette, which is my favorite Damned album, but it's just not a very good album cover. It's just too messy and noisy and too much going on. It's a shot of them walking the streets of New York when they first went to, actually not first went to New York, but on one of their tours of New York. When they went there. So it's just too much going on and not a great shot. And it's kind of blurry. And of course they're all dressed in, their different personas and stuff. But no, I think, and I thought, it'd actually be kind of a cool, classy move to even put all the album covers out with each of the different guys like that. It's a neat marketing gimmick to, maybe make people buy all of them or whatever. But I think it's cool that you could pick out the one that's your favorite guy or whatever. And yeah, that Rat shot is just classic, just a really cool shot. So there you go. Damned, Machine Gun Etiquette. Love Song.
Yeah, and I think there's even a variant or an EP or an album or something that has the shot that has all 4 of them, like in like all 4 of the covers, and it's all on the, like, even that probably would have been cooler than the original one because they're all doing something interesting. Like one of them looks like Dracula, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on in those.
Yeah, cool.
So here's my last one. So Black Sabbath, Dehumanizer. So in this case, it's not even necessarily that I dislike the album cover. This is just kind of a personal preference for me. So this is the single for TV Crimes. And what I like about this is that, like I collect like retro computer stuff. Like I have a Commodore Amiga 500, and so this just really speaks more to me personally, and it also kind of goes along more with the song Computer God and the whole thing about technology and stuff like this. Again, I don't hate the Dehumanizer album cover. I just kind of like the one on the right. It looks a little heavier to me, and it just looks a little more in line with what they were saying on the record.
Yeah, cool. And I do like the fact that the colors are more muted. I mean, the Dehumanizer cover is kind of okay at the top, and then it kind of goes downhill at the bottom. Like that whole illustration was always kind of cheesy. People never really liked it very much. It's not a well-loved Black Sabbath album cover, put it that way. So pretty much anything could be an improvement on it. So yeah, very cool. So there you go, folks. Let us know what you think in the comments below. This was a definitely a fun exercise. Marco and I privately were talking that we might do this again because it was fun picking these. So we'll see how that goes down. But yeah, we thought this was a cool exercise. Let us know in the comments below which ones you think are pretty interesting. Don't forget, we've also got a Patreon thing going. It's kind of the only way we're funding this thing. So if you want to join up at Patreon and subscribe, we do a lot of Patreon exclusive content. And actually, even tonight, we're even doing a little get together with the Patreon folks as well. So we've got that kind of thing going over there. So that's a lively thing. But yeah, so for Marco and myself, we will wrap it up there, and we will see you again next time.
That's it, dude.